Thank you for joining me today, Lori. It's super exciting to be talking about the new book, my new book that's going to be launching in the fall. And I just want to start by saying that you are such a great profile of a lot of women out there that are highly functioning in their profession, definitely have things rolling on the home front. But then menopause hits and we kind of get our socks knocked off. And I did too, even as a pharmacist. But I want to start by asking you, because you've done a great read through of the book that's coming out, and I want to know what spoke to you or what resonated with you when you read that book.
Well, thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on today. I mean, there were so many things about the book because there's so many great chapters with so much information. So I loved personally your why, like your story of how you came into this profession that you've chosen and helped so many women. And also, your why about the book, and finally asking people within the book, what's their why? Why is it time to make changes? What have people noticed in their life that have, come upon them that they were maybe unexpected and have to deal with now. And so I love that. It was in the first couple chapters, and then the rest just leads you through this journey of how to deal with it all. And I guess come to the realization, but this isn't a disease state, as you say. This is a part of life. And so to have this kind of great resource available to people to help them, I just think is wonderful. So that's kind of my feedback overall on how much I love the book and everything that's in it.
I love your perception on the why. For me, it was a combination of wanting women to know who I am and resonate with that, and also starting to think about themselves, like, who am I? Where am I in my life right now? What do I need to accept? What do I need to change? What are my perceptions of really what's going on in this quote new body that I may feel that's out of control for me? And how do I start to get control back without judgment of where I am right now?
Oh, absolutely. Well, and that's the thing about our culture, right? We're all very hard on ourselves as women. We are very critical when we look in the mirror, and we want to be that same vibrant person we always were. And what I found personally when I started with perimenopause and just before I had my child, actually, and then it went away and then it came back afterwards. It was strange the way it happened for me. But, it was such a shocking time because I was always a very fit person. I did triathlons. I was a runner. I worked out at the gym. I watched what I ate. I mean, I was about 115, 120 pounds at 40 years old. So for me to kind of notice over the years, like, I'm not really changing anything. I was still exercising. I was still watching what I eat, but I'm watching my life change in front of my eyes, right? And as a professional, I had to have my energy. So it is shocking. And you do go to the doctor, and and you're kind of told. I remember the doctor that I saw said, well, welcome to the club. um, you know, like almost kind of condescending. I hate to say it, but welcome to the club. Just watch what you eat and exercise. And I thought, that's just not working for me. Like it's not. So yeah, it's my why. And I jumped on your program myself and saw huge changes in as early as 1 month. It was, I wanted to jump on right away and change this. It was my time to change. I was just tired of being sick and tired. That's not part of my life. It's not part of my model. So I noticed big differences. So the book kind of, when I was reading it, it was like, geez, this is me. And then I felt good that there were other people, in a way, that there is a club now for sure. And we're all going through the same thing. And that's what was truly amazing to me. I didn't feel alone in this journey because I started to think it was me. What is going on here? And you feel like you're having an out of body experience. And then as you read the book, it's crazy. And then, so as you read it, I felt more that I'm part now of many women that are going through this, and I don't feel alone, and there are answers, and if you're committed to change, you can get through it. Absolutely.
And that's such an essence of the message I wanted to give women, is that there is hope, that you do not have to accept this as part of aging. You don't have to be part of the quote club that your doctor tells you that you have to be, that you can actually get control back. It's just you have to figure out what's very specific to you. And I like your analogy of looking in the mirror, because those are a lot of the questions that I ask women is, through that success formula, it provides a framework of understanding what are your pain points, what are you feeling right now, and what do you want to change? And, just ask for what you want, because you actually can change this. Once you read that book, you'll really understand that there are answers out there. They're not necessarily that complicated, but they do have to fit you as a person.
Well, it's true. And I mean, what I love about the book is the balance between the science, because you come from a pharmacist background, you approach it from a science perspective. It's not fluff, airy, fairy kind of, try this, try that, try these supplements or pills, and hopefully it's the magic pill. I see so many ads out there with specifically in the hormone segment and the menopause segment, where people are promising massive weight loss literally in a month. And you don't know what where the pills are coming from. You don't know if it's even good to be putting in your body. You also wonder, gee, anything that can affect me that dramatically in a month, that's concerning. So what I love about the book is that it has the science behind why it's happening. And as soon as you understand that, the role of cortisol, your thyroid, a whole number of things that impact us as we age, you start to feel better that there is science behind it. There's a reason behind you, why you do what you do, and why your program is structured the way it is. So, you don't feel like you're risking it, because it is scary what's available to women out there, and they really have no idea what they're getting themselves into.
Well, I kind of call it the Wild West when it comes to going onto the internet or jumping into a health food store, because you're not getting the right information that's really specific to you. And, my challenge with the book was, yes, it did have to be sciencey, but I also wanted to be engaging as they go through each chapter. It's actually a story of a real person that's, been in my practice, that I've been able to, guide their journey. So these are real live people, just like you and I, like you said, that you start to realize that you are not alone. There's many women out there suffering as we do.
Oh, it is amazing. Like, I love the case study approach, because it makes it real. And I also, if I could talk about, the worksheets that you have, what I love about the book is that it gave practical tools to actually assess where each person is at, because it is a personal journey, and the program has to be very customized, I think. And so what I loved about it was, like the menopause checklist worksheet, for example, where you're literally going through and you see yourself in certain symptoms, most symptoms, if you've been hit hard by it. And I just thought it was such a great practical, it's almost like a handbook. So you get this balance of, the science, the theory, the real case study, the information and the insights, and then the worksheets. The work that you put into that to provide that is such a great value to women. That alone, it's worth its weight in gold for sure,
Well, as you can imagine, it really evolved. And what I realized a couple of months in is that I really wanted to create a real teaching platform for women, that I wanted them to get pen to paper and make notes in the book and do the checklist and really start to understand who they are, where they are at this time, like really think about it. How many hot flashes am I getting per day? How many times am I waking up at night? So the teaching part for me is really super important. And I think it's, as you said, it's very embracing for women to have that tool.
Well, it is. And I mean, and I have to say as well, Kelly, you are the model of someone that went through this and you thrive and you look fantastic. You are fantastic. You are
Thank you.
absolutely. And you're coaching women through it. It works, but like anything, it only works if each person works at. They have to work their program, right? They can't, this isn't something that, I don't think menopause is something you can solve in a day. It took probably 40 years to get to this stage. Now it's going to take some time to get it
Well,
under control.
yeah, and as I would say to you, it's not a cookie cutter for every woman. And again, the evolving process for me is really starting to dig deep with women to talk to them about self-care and structure. And, yes, I can get you to where you want to be. However, there's a few pillars of change that would be best to happen at the same time, so you can really get the outcome that you're seeking and sustain that for yourself and feel really good about it.
Yeah. And I have to say too, like, I'm a bit of a student of life. I love to learn. I soak up and sponge up webcasts and books and reports, and I've even had a lot of personal friends and colleagues launch books over the years. And this one is a real standout because, as I say, that balance of how you approach the book, it really is, there's something for everybody, So that's pretty cool, because I know quite a few people have read it, because I saw some of the reviews and testimonials in the book. And, everybody's perspective of it is so positive and powerful, but completely different,
Yes, but I love that because that shows how different we are. And
It's just amazing.
that book for me was created from my heart, from my vision for women, my passion for them to really find out who they are and have what they want. And I do believe that is
Yeah.
possible.
Well, and I want to ask you this: what is your favorite part of the book? Just out of interest as an author, what chapter for you was the one that made you feel like you had that aha moment, if you will, of your own writing?
I think my aha was fairly similar to yours. Definitely, it was being transparent and
Mhm,
revealing my why to women. And
mhm.
even in my profession, I found out that once I was able to be more transparent, that I was able to embrace women much more successfully because they understood how real I was. So that book for me, like I said, it's really from the heart. There is a part in the back that's my favorite go-to, which is when I talk about self-care, structure, and manifesting what you want, because I am a big believer in that. So the goal for women to me is, get healthy physically, and it falls in line with emotion, and then it falls in line spiritually for us.
Yeah, it is all connected. As much as we think that, the physical piece is different from either the mental piece or the spiritual piece, it's not the case. Like, I've done a lot of reading over the years on balanced life, and one of the theories is around a pie, like a balanced pie. And if
Yeah.
you take slivers of the pie, where you have your spiritual, you have your physical, you have your family, you have your work, your community, all of these things are really all intertwined. And when one thing is out of balance, or two things, it impacts the rest. So that is really important to embrace in this, because in order, I think, for people to get through menopause in a healthy way, I think they have to look at their life holistically. And that's,
Mhm.
and I know, being a client of yours, all of the value of the program is that yes, we had some great, the supplements, the saliva test, there were all these great things that were tools, but there was also that emotional piece, that accountability, that every week we touched base. I looked forward to our Friday calls. Because you would say, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What were your challenges? Where did you fall off this week? How can we get you back on track? That mental piece was as much a part of the success on the program than the actual tangible tools, right?
Well, I feel that's me
Oh,
evolving from many years ago to being very sciencey as a pharmacist, to integrating as a practitioner, as you said, to realize there's just so many pieces to the puzzle. It's not just black and white.
yeah, it really is incredible. And I mean, I'm just, wishing you all the best with this book. I know it's being released in the fall. I know it's going to hit Amazon and be a bestseller. And I see you you know, just catapulting with success. I think that you're gonna see yourself, out there in a lot of speaking opportunities and even in the media, because there's not a lot of information out there for women like this. This is pretty unique. So, thank you for giving birth to this wonderful little baby, right?
Well,
Thank you.
thank you for your feedback. That means the world to me. And I am very much looking forward to launching in the fall. And as I always say, just reaching a much broader audience of women. But thanks for jumping on board today. That really meant a lot to me. And
Oh, my pleasure.
I really think women are going to really enjoy your feedback. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. As always, such a pleasure, and I appreciate everything you're doing for all of us.
Thanks, Lori. Take
Okay,
care.
have a great night.
You too.